theme song rolling right now. You can't hear it.
Oh, okay.
I was like, where's that?
I know.
That's good. Change is good.
Oh, 3, 2, 1. What up, folks? What's going on, everybody? Welcome, everybody, to Shut Up, Let's Talk, episode 89. We're all the way up to 89, folks. The road to 100 is going nice and good. Joined along here with the Life and Marriage podcast today. We got Jade and we got Kensu hanging out with us today. How the hell are you, folks?
Hey.
What's up, man? We were saying earlier that, yeah, they were having some trouble getting their headphones working, but they're sharing the same headphones, guys. They're sharing one ear each, and to me, this is symbolic of what life and marriage should be, guys. Life and marriage is sharing that eternal headphone. You know,
We're already teaching. We haven't even started. We're already teaching.
For better or for worse. Anyway, guys, feel free to tell everybody who the hell you guys are. You guys have an awesome podcast that I've been checking out every week over the last month or so, a few months. And tell us a little more.
Thank you. Well, I'm Jade. We started our podcast, Life and Marriage, a few months ago. Pretty much, I listen to a lot of podcasts, and I love hearing about people's love stories, but ultimately, I kind of feel like they're all a lot similar. Traditional love stories. I don't really hear a lot of couples that met online and are married and actually are, like, happily married and living together, so we started our podcast, and basically we don't just talk about marriage. We do discuss other topics that are going on in the world, but we try to keep it real and just, have a good discussion.
Mm-hmm. And I'm Kensu.
Yes.
And I'm just here to prove that, black men are faithful. Like
hashtag black men don't cheat, damn it.
Black men do not cheat.
I'm telling you.
Even though that's a troll, but it's okay.
They really don't. I'm telling you, they don't. Like,
you know what it is?
I don't know who they did, but they don't.
Well, you know what? I'll tell you this as an outsider because, I know having one perspective being in the black community is one thing, but being an outsider gives you like a different perspective. And to me, most black couples that I notice, there's not a lot of cheating that goes on actually that I know of, because most of them, it's like a very upfront type of relationship. It's like, if you don't like this, then go find something else that you like. Like, keep that shit moving if you don't like it. So I don't know.
That's true.
I don't see a lot of that. I really don't see a lot of that. So that's just, maybe I don't know anything, but
we just know a lot of hood people that go through a lot of hood shit. And so, yeah, we hear a lot of stories, a lot of ratchetness going on.
You got to keep them at a distance. You hear them, but you keep them at a distance because they come rolling with the bullshit. That's for sure.
Oh, man. Well, the bullshit's always gonna roll in, right? Thank you everybody for hanging out in the chat tonight. We got Jose, we got Claudia, we got Chris hanging out in the chat. All the beautiful faces of Shut Up, Let's Talk, guys. Thank you, everybody. And feel free to go check out Life and Marriage. Check out your podcast. Where is it available? Like, where do you guys? I listen to it on Spotify.
So we have it available.
The best one.
He loves listening to it on Spotify.
Yeah, Spotify is dope, dude. Like,
Spotify is cool. I'm not gonna lie. Like seeing my show on there, I was like, a tear almost came out. I was like, oh, my child, it's taking its first step. So let's back up a little bit, guys. So Life and Marriage podcast, man. Tell us a little bit about you guys. I know we got J. Hella Nice. We got K. Hella Nice. Where did the Hella Nice thing come from?
I copied it.
Because I'm just like, we're hella nice. Like, I find myself always being hella nice. Even when I don't want to be hella nice, I'm hella nice. So I'm just like, I'm hella nice. And she, of course, just copies. She copies anything I do on my Instagram. If I change my bio, if I change the text, the font, if I change my scheme on my, Jade.
Okay, no. I upgrade.
Yeah,
whatever
you upgrade
does,
once I upgrade.
Whatever he does,
of course,
I upgrade it. I make it a little bit better. I make it just a little bit better, And that's what the hell.
My question is why you gotta wait for me.
No. But here's the thing: your name wouldn't be cute if my name wasn't also cute. Like Jade Hella Nice. K Hella Nice.
I thought it was cute before you. Okay. I mean, okay.
So tell us a little bit about how you guys met. And I know that you guys have said this on your podcast, but you guys met through Tinder. Right. So tell us a little bit about that. So, and I think it's cool because, and this is just a little bit before you guys start. Like, I think you guys need to get in contact with Tinder. You guys need to find a way to get them to sponsor your show or something.
Oh, we already brought this up, but I think someone already beat us to the punch because.
I don't know. I've seen older couples. I mean, not older couples, but like couples.
Tinder promotes certain couples about.
Promoting it.
Tinder they promote certain couples, I guess. I don't know. I've seen it before, like 2 or 3 times. They're like, oh, they met on Tinder. But I'm like, we've never been on that. But we've never messaged them.
Well, I think it's cool because mostly anytime you ever hear about Tinder or anything like that, it's always some sort of like, it's either like a horror story or it's like a, or it's something like that. Like it's always something.
Oh yeah, it was a horror story till I met her. I mean, I was burning gas left and right to take girls to the mall for no reason, and they never tell me I'm about to take a nap and never call me back. Like, okay, that's a long ass nap.
The eternal nap.
I mean, I'm just living, so.
That's hilarious, man. So yes, please. Sorry, I know I interrupted you guys, but yeah, tell us about how you guys met. What was that like? How did that go?
Start?
You can start.
Okay. So we met 3 years ago on Tinder, and pretty much, I'm not gonna lie, we're just talking for a very long time. We met in like the month of February. We didn't actually meet in person until May. So it took some time for us to meet. Once we did, we went to the beach. We hung out for the day. We got barbecue. He took me and got some weed.
Nice.
And then, pretty much. And then we ended up like 2 days later, he invited me to some party. To be honest, the first time I met him.
I partied to a rave.
Okay, a rave, whatever.
It was more than a party, damn it. It was a big party.
It makes a difference.
It really does.
No, different scenes, for sure.
Okay, but the first day that we really met, like he wasn't really like, he didn't seem interested. So it was really awkward. You know?
Playing hard to get, huh?
My thing is, like, if you can be with a girl and you can be quiet, that's when you know, like, okay. Because if you don't feel awkward being quiet around a girl, that means something. If you feel awkward being silent around a female, that means you don't feel like you're doing enough, or it's not like, I don't know. I didn't feel like I needed to talk, but look where we are today. I guess I really need to talk. I got you here, so I knew something you didn't know.
Interesting. Are you typically like a talkative guy, like around the people that you're comfortable around?
I'm talkative mostly around people that know me for who I am, and then I'm reserved around, like, not to sound racist, but I'm really reserved when it comes to white people because like, I'm not going to be that black person that messes up the whole look of black people. So I'm just, DeAndre sagging his pants in front of a white person. He's going to think that I'm about to do it.
That's interesting.
When they see me dressing all casual and business, like, they act like, oh my gosh, like, this is a revelation.
That's interesting. It's like, you know what it is, though? That's always a big argument about how, like, the black community is supposed to be, acting. For example, like, it's like, how you carry yourself. Like, do you feel like there's a big pressure to be like an ambassador for the black community in such a funny, like, in such a like goofy political climate right now? Like, do you think is that something in the back of your mind? Because it's like, sometimes I feel like, damn, like, Indian people don't, they don't get the same hate at all, as black people do, but at the same time, we still get made fun of for all sorts of other shit, like, the bombs or whatever people say. So it's like, in a way, it's like we got to do the same shit in a goofy way. Like, when I see Aziz Ansari making movies and doing shit, I'm like, all right, cool, man. Like, you're paving a way for us. So I don't know. Like,
I'd rather see you than him. That's the funny thing. His ass is, all that money, he's still skinny as fuck. I'm like, what are you doing? Like, what are you doing? Like, he might be a vegetarian. I don't fucking know, but
yeah, probably. I gotta eat. Once the money comes in, it's steak and lobster all day. I'm telling you, man. I'm gonna start looking brand new, guys. Anyway, folks. Sorry, and I've been wanting to talk to you guys forever, so I guess we're just going on a bunch of tangents. But yeah, tell us a little bit more about how you guys met. So when you guys got together, what was that cool common ground that you guys, because I feel like there's a certain point with every couple when you fall in love with that one person, it's never expected, and when you look at that person, it's kind of funny. You look at them and you're like, oh, it's you, huh? Okay. Didn't expect that, but I'm in. I like it, and it's not a bad feeling at all, but it's kind of just like, wow, like, when was that feeling for you guys? When did you guys realize that's you, huh?
What about you?
Like I told her,
tough question, I know.
When I realized that she wasn't tripping off me living with my ex.
Oh, we didn't tell that part.
Situation. She trusted me, didn't bug me, which only made me like around my ex. I was like, bitch, I got something going on. Like, you don't touch me, don't look at me, don't ask me where I'm going, and don't ask me when I'm not sleeping with you no more. Like, I got something going on, and it's better than you.
Whoa.
So
you have to explain the situation.
Okay, the situation was, she was very argumentative, abusive, the same height or at least an inch taller. Basically, like, people call her my sister, and it was just such a sad 3 years of my fucking life, and it really was. I'm just letting her know. I love her, but I love her like a sister. I realized that, like, like a year ago, like, that bitch was really my sister. Like, I took it too far. But her trusting me and knowing that I wasn't going back to who I was with, I was like, of course I told my niggas, I was like, of course I'm gonna stay with someone that trusted me. When I told her, like, I was done with my ex, and I still was stuck there because of rent, and you can't, like, just jump out of a lease, and it's like, so she trusted me. I said, and after that, that's why I married her. I moved in 3 months after knowing her on Tinder. I moved her into an apartment, and then we moved in together.
Thank you.
But I made sure it happened, because I was like, yo, like, and it almost didn't happen, but I made sure it happened.
Okay.
But after that, I was like, you know what? Let's make sure.
I think
what was the question?
You're just going on a tangent.
I'm telling him about our relationship.
Getting the background. I like this. I'm on the journey of the Life in the Marriage podcast.
After 3 months, we moved in, and then I told her that after a year of at least living together and seeing how we like each other.
I said that.
Okay, you said that. Fine, I'll give you that credit. Okay, and then we said that after a year, we would make sure we got married. And the next thing you know, we got married, and here we are today.
Well, congratulations.
I'm shocked it's still happening. We got married.
I'm happy, man, because it's hard to find happy couples. Sounds weird, but it's hard to find couples that are, like, so proud to not show each other off, but you get what I'm trying to say. It's hard to find couples that are as proud as you guys are, because you guys
not acknowledge each other.
Yeah, well, you guys show off your relationship like it's something to show off, like it's a trophy, and I think that's how it should be. It's a beautiful thing. It's an accomplishment. And it's a little sad.
I consider it more of a trophy because of our age group and how people act in our age group. Yeah, and
how old are you guys?
How people treat people as, like, disposable, like, pieces of furniture and stuff, like, and just toss them out every 2 years. Like, that's part of it.
So I'll be 24 next month, and he's 25.
24, 20. Well, I'm 28, just to put it in perspective. So that's
pretty, nice.
Yeah, man, it's pretty crazy to think, man. Time.
How does that feel?
Well, I'm getting near 30, and it's the feeling is kind of annoying. I'm trying to drive it as far away as possible, but in a way,
like I told her, I'm gonna cry when I turn 30.
I'm happy. Yeah, I probably will too, man. But yeah, it's gonna be one of those days. I'm just gonna be at the bottom.
That's a whole new age group, Jay.
Oh my gosh,
yeah,
no, it's not.
I'm gonna be in a.
My mom always told me to, like, literally cherish the days that God gives you. So I'm appreciative for every day I get. I don't care. I mean, I don't want to live until I'm like 100. Don't get me wrong. Like, I'm gonna be honest. I don't want to live that long. Yeah, but I'm going to cherish all of my days that I get. So.
I like it. I just want to live long enough to where somebody does not have to wipe my ass for me. Like, if it gets to that point, just put me out of my misery and their misery. that's more than one level of misery at that point. So, it's just like if you got to pay your bills by wiping my ass, like that's when it's time to call it quits. So that's when you tap out. I've had
it's like it's done.
Yeah,
it's time to go home.
Yeah, right. Anyway, so in the meantime, folks, on the opposite end of that spectrum, we're all so young right now. Let's not think about death. Death should be the last thing on our minds, guys.
Yeah, let's not.
Tell us a little bit about the marriage, man. I would love to know how did the marriage go? Was it a humble wedding? Was it something where a lot of people were there? Like, how did you guys do it? Because
we had planned like a small wedding, and we were about to put down the deposit and everything for that. Kensu lost his job, and so then we ended up, I was like, we don't have to get married right now, we can wait another year or so. And he was like, no, I want to get married. And so then we just ended up going to the courthouse. I have one of my close friends, my mom, my old boss was there. And then we came back to our place, and we just had like a little reception. That was it, and kept it small. really small.
A reception, you know what I mean? If you know what I'm saying.
We had cake. That was our reception.
Yep, that's a reception.
Yeah. Hey, I like it. That's what's up, man. That sounds amazing, actually. I like it a lot. And you know what? There's something really beautiful in that whole explanation is the fact that you were understanding enough, talking about Jade, was understanding enough to be able to say, you know what, let's do it later. We don't have to get married right away. And the fact that Kensu was so passionate about it that he said, no, why wait? Let's do that right now. Like those are two opinions, and these might be missing links. And when you are trying to figure out why you're not in love, it's maybe because you're missing one of those two aspects. It's the understanding and also the passion. So I think it's a big reason why you guys make it.
I just love the fact that you also said my name correct. Like he said it with so much like ethnicity behind it. I was like, oh shit. You don't say like my person. That's for fucking sure.
Well, you're from Africa, right? Like Africa.
I'm born in London and then lived in Ghana.
Ghana, man, that's what's up, man. I've had many Nigerian friends. I got many friends. I got a couple of friends from Cameroon. You know, yeah, and you know what's funny? This is something I'd like to ask you. So, is your actual name Kensu, or is it much longer?
It's Kensu. That's well, I have my first name on my actual birth certificate. I have 5 first names and 1 last name. My first name is actually Kadar, and that's from the Bible.
Well, Kadar. Well, that's even shorter. That's like, or just about just the same. That's good. That's
yeah,
good.
It's the same length.
Yeah, exactly. So, because the thing is, I'm thinking about high school, and there was a guy in one of my classes, and his name was Uchechukwu. Okay, and
oh shit.
Yeah, it came from.
He went by Uche.
Well, he did go by Uche for a while. Everybody called him Uche, but you know his name was Uchechukwu. But I could see that his family changed his name. His name was when the teacher called roll, they didn't say Uchechukwu. They said Melvin.
Oh shit!
Melvin?
How you go to Melvin? That's a ghetto ass black man.
So this man actually his family had changed his name to Melvin to help him maybe blend into the United States a little bit more. Yeah,
that's like your old stepfather Gene.
Dude, everyone that robs you is Melvin. His name is a last name, like Jenkins.
Well, the teachers, dude, the teachers used to make fun of him. Like one of the teachers, they were like, you know what a Melvin is? They're like, that's when we used to put kids upside down in the toilet and swirl the things like that. That was called a Melvin.
That's not right. That's not right.
That sounds like a lawsuit against the school, but
yeah.
It's Florida. Don't forget.
Yeah, it was.
Wait, were you from Florida?
Yeah, this was Miami. Yeah, so it was.
You know, you ain't getting no justice for that.
It's a little loose. It was a little loose. It was a little loose for Mr.
Hey, bro, how do you really like? How does it stand your ground law? Like, how do you feel about that? Like, oh my lord.
I mean, honestly, I'm not gonna say it's scary because it's like where I live, it's not particularly scary. I mean, if you drive
parts of Florida.
Shut up.
I mean, honestly, if you drive because you know, I mean, I'm sure you guys heard about like XXX Tentacion and all these type of dudes.
Yeah, he got shot at my dealership. I was like, oh shit.
He got shot 20 minutes down the road. I mean, you know.
Oh,
really?
Yeah, because I mean, I live in Broward County, and that's where that's that whole area. Kodak Black and all those guys, they're from there, but they're from like the bad part of Broward, you know, which is kind of like a little further east, I guess you would say. Yeah, the bad part of Broward. Bad word, but sorry, the live studio audience is enjoying what I just said. I mean, there is, but it's funny because it's not really even that bad at all. Like, if you compare it to like what goes on in Miami Beach, and you compare what goes on to like actual, like, you know, it gets much worse, you know, when you get near the beaches. Like anything around the beach, yeah, don't linger, don't linger. But yeah. Anyway, every place has its bad areas, but over here, the stand your ground laws that you were talking about, kind of serious, man, kind of crazy. Because yeah, if somebody does, you know, point a gun at you, like, you know, and doesn't even shoot it, you could shoot right back, and it's all gravy. Wow. It's all gravy on the biscuit at that point, because they're like, well, he had a gun at me. What was I supposed to do? And they're like, yeah, true.
Ridiculous.
Do you own guns?
No, I don't personally. I personally don't even like the invention. I'm much more of a sword man, because I mean, I just wish it's an old mentality. Like, you can't be that way.
You might want to move to London, because you know they own some stabbings and shit.
Yeah.
You know, just not.
Well, they're running man, they're running over people with cars. They're finding any way to kill anybody. They got
you know the beautiful part about that is if someone really wants to kill you and they didn't that way, that means they really wanted to fucking kill you. Because if you have a gun, a coward can kill you with a gun.
Exactly.
But you have to have a boss to drive over someone with a vehicle or stab them. Like, come on, like, I mean, people really committed. Like,
I was thinking about that. I'm like, what happened when murder was just with your bare hands? What What happened to
that was like 100, that was like 300, 400, maybe 500 years ago. I don't even know.
Like, who does that?
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. I mean, you know what's funny though? The whole I'm really not a political dude. That's more of the lovely Claudia. She's the political end of this relationship. But excuse me, as far as guns go, I just don't think anybody should be taking your guns away, because if they take your guns away, and only because that law, or you know, the Constitution or whatever, the fact that you get to keep your guns, that's there to protect you from the government. Like if one day you wake up and you see that all hell broke loose and the government is just kind of like, all right guys, we kept up an act for so long, but now we're just going to take control of everything. You have no protection. You know, and even back in the day, like when they were writing the Declaration of Independence and all this stuff, they were telling each other like, shit, we got to write this in a way where our own people are not going to make this corrupt. You know, and that's why they say you're allowed to have guns, because if you need to use them, you should be able to use them. It's just hard now because everybody's going kind of nuts, man. So it's kind of like, shit, what do we do?
Killing 20 people at a time and injuring like fucking 10 more people on top of that in one day. Like,
these are literally.
And then you see people walking out of Walmart. These people using the EBT cards walking out of Walmart. You just like, nigga.
Oh man, yeah, no, it's rough, dude. I mean, it's weird, man. The problem is right now I feel like violence is so glorified on such a different level that like right now I feel like a lot of people are not shooting out of like let's say you try to rob somebody and then he has a gun maybe, so the burglar shoots, you know, and kills somebody. That's maybe he didn't want to do that, but he was trying to just rob somebody, but he had to kill somebody in the process. Not right, but that's the situation, right? These days, I feel like a lot of the younger crowd, you know, the kids that are 16, 17, 18, I feel like a lot of them want to kill people just for the sake of killing somebody, like just for the sake of knowing what that feeling is like.
Yeah, the crowd and the respect, or whatever stupid respect you get for
the fear, you know, and a lot of people associate fear with respect. You know?
Yeah.
It's not. It's really not. Because the person that makes you scared is probably not as strong as you are, honestly. That's usually how it is.
I mean, somebody you respect is somebody you respect, but somebody you fear is somebody you're going to kill in their sleep. You know what I mean? So it's not a good position to be feared. It's better to be respected.
My thing is, I feel people are bringing GTA to life, because it's real easy to kill someone on GTA and just like hop in the car and have the cop chase you and then just die and then it restarts.
Yeah, well,
like GTA, I feel like it's really a part of it because it's so real. And it's so like lifelike.
Yeah,
people,
you know what?
And like they start driving stupid in life just because they drive stupid on GTA. Because I'm just like,
well, you know, in a way, you're kind of right, because the problem is video games are not the reason for all the violence, but at the same time, they are part of influence. Like it's an influence thing. Yeah. It's just you know, when kids are young and they're looking at what's cool. Like, don't get me wrong, I was around I like watching I like the Ninja Turtles growing up, so I like swords, not guns, because the Ninja Turtles did not use guns. But I had friends growing up that like that you know, they're the people that they like to watch, you know, were like the Punisher, and they liked all these other, or their dad, you know, who had a gun collection and whatever. So their influences were different. Like if what you like is what you're influenced by. So these days, if you look at the sales in Grand Theft Auto, if you get online and you listen to all the voices, nobody's like, it's usually people under 18, man. You know, or 20 or under at least. Really, you know what I mean? It's a lot of kids.
Mine can really be changed, like really altered. Like, and the people killing people in Canada and stuff are only 19 and 18. So I'm just like,
that's so sad.
And they killed themselves. They just killed themselves, and they found the bodies today. I'm just like,
oh, dude.
19 and 18. I'm just like, that prefrontal cortex did not get a chance to develop or shape.
And that's the problem, dude. A lot of people don't even realize that. First of all, what Kensu just shed some light on us with is the fact that your frontal lobe is not fully formed until you're 25 years old. That's why when you reach a lot of people call it a quarter life crisis these days, when it's really just kind of like when really you're just kind of like, oh shit, man, the last 5 years have been bullshit. You know, like and not fully, but you get what I'm saying. It's just kind of, you kind of wake up in a weird way because you just go through experiences, man. Like everybody gets hurt over their first love, but imagine the second or third one. You know, like when people start getting hopeless, and some people don't recover from that kind of shit. You know what I mean? Anyway, folks, we got a little deep on that. We started talking about guns, and we started talking about. Give me 1 second, huh? It's not gonna do that. Thank you, though. But yeah, what do you call it? What were we talking about? We zoomed into like guns and all sorts of crazy stuff. So.
Into guns, I don't even know how we got on that. Because we actually worked.
That was a good tangent, though. That was a good tangent.
Oh, there was a lot of truth in there. There was a lot of truth in there. I'm happy that we talked about that. Sorry, guys. Let's check on the chat for a second. Sorry to neglect you folks in the chat. Jose in the chat says, yes. Jose says bad part of Broward, and then we started laughing because it is kind of funny to think about that because Broward is not a the thing that's funny is that these days you hear about Broward County being glorified in a bad way because of Kodak Black and XXX and all these people, but in reality it's actually one of the best counties. Like it's funny, like just 5 years ago Pembroke Pines, which is where I live actually, like it was like in top 5 cities to raise your kids or top 30, something like that.
Really?
Yeah.
And then down the road, it's just kind of
just down the road it gets a little funky. Yeah, just down the because that's it's all a part of that clout chasing. It's all a part of that same shit we talked about where it's the young ones, dude. It's the young ones, and it's demute. It's the young ones. Jose in the chat also says it's scary stuff. I don't live too far from Dayton, Ohio, and I heard Dayton, Ohio is not a good time. And
Trump was there today, I think.
Really?
Yeah, he went to, or he's going there tomorrow, I think. One of the two.
Yeah,
he's going to go visit the victims or something.
Oh no, man! It's a shit show, man. It's a shit show. But anyway, folks, let's talk a little bit about glamping. I would like to talk about glamping because you guys recently did that. Explain to the lovely folks what does glamping mean?
Okay, so I'm gonna explain what glamping is because he doesn't know. He thinks that I'm crazy. So basically, glamping for us is just upgraded camping. So instead of just having your normal tent or whatever, we have like this cute teepee tent, and I put these like LED lights at the top of the tent, so it was able to be spotted from like far away because obviously it's dark at the campsite. Also, we went with my friend's family, so they were like cooking. Her sister sent me a whole menu for the entire weekend, breakfast, lunch, dinner for each day. So yeah, that was also glamping. If you want to go check that out on my page, I have like all those pictures, which is really dope. But pretty much it's just upgraded camping and just
it looked amazing.
Not doing it like hot dog. I mean, like a stick and a hot dog or old school. It wasn't the camping that I was expecting.
I don't consider it glamping. My version of glamping is pulling up in an RV, having your own bathroom, your own toilet, having connection to the internet in your fucking RV.
You're just bougie. Bougie. That's it. That's the problem.
Glamping equals bougie. Glamping equals bougie. Just so you get it right. I'm just like, that's what's called glamping.
So you're
glamorous.
So you're just expecting it to be on a higher level. On a higher level. You were expecting. Okay. Well, you know what? Next time you should check out how much it is to rent an RV, and maybe you guys should try that out. You guys should try to redo it with the RV. I would like to see.
We were going to do it with the RV, but her family. Okay, no, this one right here was about to rent an RV.
How much is it, by the way? Sorry.
Her family already got like the campground spots, so there was no room for an RV.
Oh, I get it. Well, that's cool. I mean, it's cool that you guys at least got your feet wet with the idea. Is that your first time camping or like your first time together camping?
It was our first time together camping. My first camping experience was terrible as a child. So.
Oh no.
Yeah, my first time was on a school trip. So.
You guys went camping on a school trip?
But that's it.
How'd you guys go camping on a school trip? That's awesome.
I don't know, they take you to this like old 18th century place that's downtown Sacramento. Like it's like a fort where like all the immigrants and stuff used to stay, and then like they make you like make candles, learn how to like
that's tight.
Like put yarn together and like
okay.
It was like a whole 2 days of me learning how that people lived in the 1800s. It's called Sutter's Fort.
Okay.
And it's in downtown Sacramento, but that's where they have like the 18th century lifestyle, like in the middle of the century. Like it makes no sense, but
that's kind of wild, man. That's kind of wild. That sounds kind of cool though. Damn, they never gave us field trips like that. They took us to the Everglades once in the 5th grade. And
the Everglades?
Yeah, because I mean that's like down. That's not too far. Dude, we were walking, and then all of a sudden they're like, and right over here we got a alligator just on the side. Don't get too close now. We're like, is that an alligator? This shit looked like a prop, dude. It looked fake. It looked like a wax statue. Wow. No, it was a real alligator or crocodile, whichever one, just sitting there, just chilling.
To the zoo. At least they weren't caged up.
This thing was like 10 feet away from us. Oh well, the zoo is fun, man.
Wow.
Yeah, no, the zoo is a good time. You know, it's weird, man. You know, it kind of sucks living in today's day and age in a weird way because now I know that the animals are held captive, and some of the the fucking people that work there are probably treating them like shit. Probably smoking weed.
All the stuff you did when you were 5 or 6.
Yeah, when I was little, I was like, look at the albino tigers. They're so beautiful. You know, they're so majestic. But now I'm like, they're probably fucking miserable. You know, I don't know. It's a sad sight, especially.
They're pretty much in jail. They're on showcase in jail.
Yeah, dude. It's like, yeah, they're being hoarded to the public, right? That's kind of disgusting.
Yep.
In a way, right?
Yep.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I think it's worse at like SeaWorld. I went to SeaWorld once.
And he said, let's go to SeaWorld. I was like, you want me to see some captive animals?
But no. Okay, no, listen to me, though. Listen to me. So I used to go to SeaWorld at least every year because I lived in San Diego when I was a kid. And we're going to San Diego at the end of this month. And I just want to go to SeaWorld like I did as a child. And he's like, no, they got rid of Shamu at least.
Dude, there's another whale. Someone replaced Shamu.
No, they didn't.
I'm pretty sure someone did.
Did they get rid of Shamu?
They can't lose money like that.
Shamu was the best, man. Shamu was a phenomena. All right, when you want to know what a celebrity is, guys, in the '90s was so cool. They made a killer whale a celebrity.
I didn't know that was possible, and I'm still trying my hardest. But
Shamu was lit. I still got the video.
Dude, I got splashed.
But like, he was still held captive. Is that a he or she?
Shamu's probably a guy, right?
I'm pretty sure he's a guy.
Shamu sound like a girl named.
I heard that they replaced him a couple of times throughout the years. Like I heard.
And they just call him Shamu.
Well, yeah.
Oh, that's fucked up.
Where's the name Shamu even come from? Where's that from? That sounds ethnic. That's not
African.
Yeah, I was about to say, like, it does sound African. That sounds like Shamufa. Yeah, like, I don't know. We need.
Yeah. That sounds African.
Mustafa, yeah, that's probably his middle name. Shamu Mustafa, whatever, killer whale, his last name. Is it one of the
Shamu Mustafa SeaWorld?
One of the one of the Muslim homies. Yes. Anyway, no, Shamu was crazy. I actually got splashed by one of those killer whales. You know, like they do a little splash thing. Like they jump in the water and then you get splashed by them. Yeah, I got to experience that. Screamed like a little bitch too. Ah! Loved it. Loved it. I was 7. So, you know, I was at an age where I was supposed to enjoy that. These days I'd be like, fucking disgusting. Let me rinse my mouth really quick.
That's so true.
Yeah.
So true.
No, it's ridiculous, man.
You know you're getting old when you go on a roller coaster and you start to think this is not safe.
Scream like a little bitch. I knew I was getting old when I kept looking for alcohol at Disney World. That's when I realized I was like,
there's none.
Yeah. I was like,
there's literally none.
Wait, there's really no alcohol at Disney World?
Now they have alcohol. Does anybody know if they? Sorry, live studio audience. Does anybody know if they have alcohol at Disney now? Yeah. Where do they have it at now? And I know Epcot they have it, but anywhere else? And at Disney World, like Magic Kingdom.
Really?
Okay, well, we're hearing at certain restaurants, and they might have it because.
Okay, so that explains why those black people were fighting.
Those are so expensive
at Disneyland.
Though.
They got drunk.
No, they didn't. Them
niggas was fighting. Nah, they was ratchet and drunk.
That was on your side of the. That was on your side of the planet right there.
Exactly. They was from probably what. Like, you know, he said he was a Crip, so he's probably from Compton.
It was just a disgrace. This is black people talking about that go around to act like that and have me having to act so fucking professional.
No. No, listen to me. I stopped letting black people do that to me. Like, I stopped making it seem like I wore all the burden for the whole black female community. Like, I'm not doing that shit no more. I'm gonna be Jade, and that's gonna be the end of that. No, seriously, because like. I used to I'm not the only black girl that works in the office anymore, which I'm so happy about. But when I was, there was certain thoughts that come through your mind that make you feel like that or
like
whatever.
You're a token?
Yeah, like you're a token.
I'm a token.
Or as if you're supposed to make sure you represent yourself correctly
Tokens
for the next black person that comes in, you know?
Yeah.
But I stopped doing that because I learned that you just need to be yourself. And once I started just being myself, people just accept it. I am who I am. I'm that awkward black girl. That's who I am.
You are so weird.
So it's kind of like
that's also why I married you, because I know you ain't basic, because you weird.
Yeah. Weird is good. So you mean so it's kind of like the never forget thing, right? Like 9/11, never forget. Like, don't get me wrong, like we should also never forget, but at the same time, the fact that you linger never helps you move on. So it's like, you're like, yeah, I mean, you can't be an ambassador for the black community for the rest of your fucking life. Like, Jesus Christ. Like, at some point.
Yeah. Well, actually, she is. She's wearing it very well. Brown skin girl. Yeah. That was my song. Anyways.
Okay, that started controversy.
No, seriously, she really is, though.
Who?
She's Beyonce.
Oh, Beyonce. Yeah, she is. You know what's funny? I want to know how. It's a fascination to me how. And don't get, because I remember Beyonce for many, many, many years, from her Destiny's Child days to now, and I think about it and I'm like, how did she get placed as such a? Because she's the first one. I feel like she's the one that came out with the phrase queen. Like nobody started saying queen until they were talking about Beyonce. And then I
swear I thought it was gay people.
Yeah, well, yeah, you know what it was? Yeah, like they started calling her queen, and then the whole king movement came after that. But like, Beyonce. Yeah, they're like, oh yeah, there's kings too, yeah. But no, Beyonce is the original, black queen. I wonder, how do you guys think? You know what it is? I know at some point, wow, maybe you guys would be surprised I'm even bringing this up, but I know at some point Aretha Franklin was the woman. And Aretha Franklin and Beyonce are very similar in style. Like, to me, my opinion, growing up, Beyonce to me was the new Aretha Franklin. And to me, I always thought
Beyonce. Oh, sorry.
No. You're totally you. You know more about this than I do.
I always felt like Beyonce was closer to like a Tina Turner.
Well,
just because.
Interesting.
Like, as in how she's just out there and she's confident in herself and she can put on a show still. Well, she doesn't perform anymore. I think she retired a couple years ago. But, I mean, the woman was in her 70s still killing it.
I
think... I liked Aretha Franklin.
No, well, you know what's funny? I'm not really into Aretha Franklin's music, but like technically, because I mean, it's not like I'm out here jamming it in the fucking whip. But at the same time, when I listen to her sing, and I listen to Beyonce sing, like sometimes Beyonce does these little little things in between songs, and that's totally Aretha. I was about to say urethra. Whoops, that's totally not Urethra Franklin. But no, that's
gonna be mean. I'm pretty sure that's already a meme somewhere.
Urethra Franklin. Ooh, that's a good one.
Thank you, man. Impress your friends and amuse your enemies, people. Urethra Franklin. Anyway, what were we talking about? Beyonce. Yes. To me, vocally, technique-wise, I find her very similar on that level. But and also because and in a way, Tina Turner too, because Tina Turner to me was like she was like a spokesperson for like domestic abuse. What she went with Ike Turner, and like she was like when I think of a strong black woman, I think of Tina Turner. When I like that's the first one that comes to my mind, because that was her whole thing, is that she dealt with ridiculous amounts of abuse for a long time. But there's so many, I don't know, there's so many greats out there, man. I think about Beyonce and how do you guys think she became that queen thing? I mean, do you think it's,
Yo, I think it's all like they both had a plan. The On the Run tour.
No, from the beginning. Like, I know from the beginning,
they've always had a plan. You can see it. Like,
you think so?
I feel they do. I mean, their mom and dad had them dancing since they were fucking like 8 or whatever. Like it was almost like it was meant to be. Like I don't know. Like, and then she just knew she had to be with Jay-Z for it to all make sense.
No, I think what really popped off Beyonce was obviously the look. Like, she's fucking gorgeous.
She don't know what's been hella like sexy, but she got hella sexy in the past 10 years.
She's obviously gorgeous. She can sing. And let's just be honest, when we all saw that video, Dangerously in Love, and we saw her, in the little booty shorts and the red lipstick and the white tank top and the red heels.
Listen, the whole world. That's iconic. The whole world stopped when the part came out. When the part came, everybody was like, "Oh my God, what are we seeing?" Beyonce's
another thing. Her songs were women anthems, like no, but let's just be clear. And also, what also made her pop to me was her and Jay-Z. Like, people never, they didn't really announce their relationship, of course, at first, but it was just like you kind of knew if they were together because that connection they had.
When you have two bosses together, of course,
they just flourish.
The clout is gonna go through the fucking roof.
It was written in the stars.
On the Run tours, number 1, 2, 3.
No, how she got big. Like she was bigger, way bigger than.
That's true, but when they came together, it just seemed like it just.
You know what it was?
I'm not talking about Jay-Z.
I'm just saying that Icky helped.
You're really just talking about Jay-Z. I'm not talking about.
I love Jay-Z.
I know, but he's a boss all in his own.
But I see what
they both bosses on their own.
I think I see what Kensu was getting at though, is the fact that Jay-Z's position in the rap world helped. Because, you know, let's say he was the king of rap, all of a sudden, you know, once she got together, it was like, now we have the queen of R&B and the king of rap.
No, let's be clear. Exactly. I'm a part of the Beehive, and let me be clear.
I'm not saying she made him. He didn't make her. He didn't make her, but.
Queen Bee. Okay. Like, I know that he helped, of course. Who doesn't like black love? Who doesn't want to see a couple prosper? Doesn't even matter if you're black. If you see two people, they're both at the top of their games, who wouldn't want to see that? That's just beautiful.
You're seeing two dope people together. They're married. And now you have all these years married, and it's like two dope people. It's almost like, and you can't break them apart, and they make you like think something's going on. Nothing's going on, but something's going on. Like, you don't even know what the fuck is even going on with Jay-Z and Beyonce, because it's like, are they good? Are they not? Are they good?
Do you guys think Kanye? You guys think Kanye tried to pull some shit like that with him and his relationship with Kim? Like, you think he tried to be like, I'm the genius and she's the most beautiful model right now. She's the Marilyn, because he's famously said she's the Marilyn Monroe of this generation. You know, so
yeah,
she kind of is.
I can't lie. She's a great businesswoman. You know,
she's kind of
anybody that hates on Kim Kardashian, like you have to respect the hustle. Like, I mean, I don't care what anybody says.
Kylie's hustle came a lot faster, but it's okay. You know, it's okay.
I mean, she is. She is. I'll give it that, because I mean, think about how many people on Instagram. You can go to 100 different Instagram models pages, and I bet 80 to 90% of them will look like Kim Kardashian in some way, shape, or form. Whether it's the eyebrows.
That's true, because they always in that video with Ray J. Mm-hmm.
No. Nobody about Ray J. Ray J's making money though. Let's not get it wrong. He's good. He's making money.
He's so grown now. He's so grown.
I can't believe what, Ray J has grown so much that people have finally forgotten that he's Brandy's cousin or whatever.
Exactly. No one even relates him to Brandy no more. He's like, Brandy who?
You guys heard about what happened to Brandy? Brandy ran over somebody. Brandy ran over.
Yes, on the LA freeway.
Remember, she got fat out of nowhere. Does anybody remember that part?
She looked like
Brandy got fat.
That's why people have that rumor going around that she was carrying Ray J's daughter.
Her trainer quit on her.
The ends were low. Yeah, had to.
You're not paying me enough, and you're not losing enough weight for this pay.
For real, she got a Planet Fitness subscription. Never went. Oh no, I'm sorry. Okay. We gotta back up. I'm sorry, Brandy, Moesha, whatever, both of you.
Moesha. You go to Galaxy Fitness, suck a lot of shit.
Galaxy Fitness.
She got lipo.
I told you. They said that she had the baby.
Oh,
the little
baby weight.
Baby?
No, but it looked like she was pregnant the whole time because she only gained weight in her face and her stomach.
That's what that Coca-Cola will do to you.
That's that Burger King, man. That's the spicy nuggets. That's
some late night meals at Jack in the Box.
I think she was a secret shirt. I would go with that one.
Them late night trips to Sonic in the Range Rover, I bet.
Oh my God.
I swear to God.
What are you having today?
Yeah, chilling at the drive-thru. Oh my God, listening to That Boy's Mine talking about that's me on the song. Oh my God, that's amazing. That's amazing. Anyway, guys. Life and Marriage podcast, guys. I know we got in deep, guys. Let's back out a little bit. Thank you so much.
That's what he said. That's what he said. That's what I always say. You know, I got a little too deep.
I feel like this is a lot of black talk.
Pull out time. Let's pull out.
This is a lot of black talk.
It is a lot of black talk, but you know what? I don't get to have these conversations with everybody, and I think maybe you guys are even surprised I know half of this shit because you're like, what?
I'm proud of you. Like I'm so happy. I'm so happy.
I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised.
I'm not surprised.
Another ethnic person knows the issues going on in the world because it's mostly ethnic people that are more woke. So, you know.
Well, you know what the funniest things is that, you know what's funny? I actually got made fun of for being Pakistani from a black person before I ever got made fun of by a white person. Ironically.
Oh, well, no. They were trying to give you love, you know, because that's how we initiate. I don't know. It's like initiation.
No, that might have been.
No, seriously, because I got bullied. You got bullied. Used to be called MapQuest. He has this like.
You know, I got my scar on my forehead. They call me Google Maps, MapQuest, whatever you want to say. Take me there. Kensu, take me there.
That's crazy.
But, you know, I don't take no one nowhere unless you got gas money. But
that's crazy. They called me Osama. It was crazy.
They called
Osama.
Yeah, it was wild. So
they must have been very mad when the fuck he got killed.
So I'm guessing this was after 9/11. When
it was just funny because I was like, bro, like, what am I supposed to say to you? Like, I'm supposed to make fun of you back? I was like, that'd be too easy. Like, what am I supposed to do? Like, I just told her. I just laughed. I was just like, girl, like, you're going for it, but I was like, it's too easy to try to do something to you right now. Like, it's not worth it right now. Like, I mean, like, it was weird.
What's
and this girl, and don't get me wrong, guys, like. This girl was like some weird hood rat type shit, like eating. I'm talking like eating pickles and Vienna sausages in the morning.
Oh my god!
I got a little hood rat in me too, because I'm like, you know what? That sounds low-key good.
She eats Vienna sausages like they're fucking Oscar Mayer fucking links. Like, you need to get the fuck out of here! Like, get out of here!
There's nothing wrong with my Vienna sausage.
It was crazy, man. I'm telling you, yeah.
I'm hungry. Like, and that's the only thing.
I'm so mad you said Vienna sausages. I'm like, I actually like those.
And pickles.
Well, I love pickles. I love pickles and Vienna sausages, but I wasn't eating them in the morning at school before class.
Wait, she was eating them at school?
Oh yeah, every day. This was her breakfast at school. Like we'd be in
school. And she eat it for breakfast?
Yeah. That was her breakfast. Was pickles and Vienna sausages, and like.
I have to send her car to the hospital real soon because she getting some salt content to the roof.
But she was
not for breakfast.
She was salty.
Like, what the fuck you eating the rest of the day? Oh my lord.
Well, Lariva, wherever you are, I hope you're doing well. It's been a long time.
Her name is who?
Lariva.
I'm done.
I'm fucking 25. I never heard that fucking name.
You know what? The best ghetto name I've ever heard. Hopefully she's not looking at. I'm pretty sure she's not looking at this. Her name is Shaquana. That was the best name I've
That's Shaquana. Her name is Lariva, my nigga.
Lariva, that sounds better than Shaquana.
That sounds like so close to weed, Lariva.
Or like a lead.
Like,
you know, like the medicine.
You know, a white person is going to fuck that shit up, Lariva.
Do you guys remember when Raven? Do you guys remember when Raven Simone got in trouble for that shit? When Raven Simone made fun of like black people's names on like The Voice or The View or whatever the fuck the show is.
Yeah, I remember that.
She was like, "Don't be applying for my." Yeah, she's like, "It's not my fault if I don't want to hire you." And I look at the application, and your name is Watermelandria.
Okay, I don't do that. Like when I was a manager, I've never done no shit like that.
You know damn well you wouldn't hire no one called Watermelandria.
No. But seriously, I've interviewed people with crazy names. I really did.
Shaquantisha?
No, like Tyranisha or something. It was a girl named like Tyranisha or something.
Like a tyrant?
I used to be a manager for a car wash company.
Oh, nice.
And I remember this girl, I forgot, her name was something close to that. It was something really ratchet. Oh, well. And like I was hoping, like I brought her in hoping that she wasn't going to be ratchet, and she was not what I expected. I mean, she was exactly what I was hoping she wasn't going to be. So.
No. Well, it's tough, man. And we're not trying to stereotype here, guys. I'm
not stereotyping my people.
We're just laughing at the fact that some stereotypes can somehow manage to just be true. Like it's like you would think that people would stop naming their children things like that, but you know what? A new baby gets born, and then we have Shaquana. What was the name you said?
Yeah, Shaquana.
We got Larivas. We got also, it's crazy. One of the coolest names I've ever seen on an African friend of mine. His name was God's Power. I was
like, blasphemous.
That is like, he's not going to have it. He is not going, and his last name's probably hella complicated. God's Power. Like, oh my lord.
Yeah, very, very, very good painter now, guys. Go ahead and check out God's Power's paint. Very good painter these days. Yeah, he went from being a football player at my high school team to just being the most amazing oil painter right now. Unbelievable.
Oh my gosh, a painter. That's so cute.
And he
That's
really
so
envisioned
cute.
it.
It's got no, but for real, people be going from playing, like doing ballet and then playing football. So
It's wild.
But you know, the people that do ballet and play football are the best balanced football players there ever are.
Exactly.
They know how to hop over shit like fucking like they so gently just hopping over niggas. Just,
you know what the problem is? I think it's trying to find where to put your aggression. Because growing up, I feel like we have so much aggression that we just want to break things. You know what I mean? Like I remember being younger, and 16, 17, and I would just jump around and just pull myself up on shit and just do weird things just to get this aggression out. And then I picked up the guitar and I started playing guitar and I started making music and doing art and doing all this other shit. And I started smoking weed, and I became much less violent. And because I realized, I was like, well, not violent, but I became much less aggressive because I was like, damn, like these are way better ways to get my aggression out. So you know what? Maybe God's power found the way to get his wrath out was through pleasing your eyes, through this beautiful brush strokes and expressive paint strokes. Anyway, guys. You know what? I enjoy these episodes with you guys because we find ourselves in these weird tangents that I don't know how we got to.
Makes the best episodes, I'm guessing.
It does make the best episodes, guys. I would like to thank you guys for being on the show so far. That is actually a very cool shirt, by the way, Kensu. I like that cup noodle shirt.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I don't eat cup of noodles, but I will represent.
Actually, you know what? My girlfriend, the lovely Claudia, actually cut me off from eating noodle soup recently. She was like, "You cannot eat this shit anymore."
Yeah, the sodium is too high.
It's intense, dude. It's intense, man.
Yeah, but it tastes so good.
It does taste pretty good, and I like spicy food. So I'm putting extra chili pepper.
Oh, you like spicy food?
I love spicy food, dude.
I gotta send you some more African pepper. Made in the kitchen, fresh. 50 habanero peppers. Mix. It's a whole jam.
I wish you wouldn't have said that.
It's a whole jam. All my Mexican friends love it. They call it salsa. I'm like, nigga, it's not salsa, but okay. I hope you love
some African salsa right here. I like it. Hell yeah. Well, if you guys ever come to Miami, man, we got to go out for some spicy food, man. That'd be a good time.
I actually told her we would never go to Florida because I'm scared that I won't make it back.
We have to go to Florida though.
Well,
no, I'm supposed to go to Miami for my birthday.
Yeah, and I said no.
You guys can stay. No. You guys can stay in my near area. It's a safe area. Don't worry. No worries.
How much is the hotel? How much are the hotels?
We can find you an Airbnb. We can work it out. And if there's a hotel, we can work it out.
Airbnb
yeah, we haven't done Airbnb because we saw those, news reports about black people going to Airbnbs.
I'm just scared to get recorded in someone's house.
They don't let them in or something. And
ironically, there's actually a hotel literally 5 minutes down the street from my house, and I know it ain't an expensive one, but it's a good one. It's like the Fairfield Inn. Well, those aren't too bad, right? But
okay,
they're right. They're like right up there with the Marriott. They're just like the other Marriott,
Yeah.
Yeah. So you guys should definitely do that. We'd definitely get some. I'm having kisses blown at me, so I gotta reciprocate.
Aww.
Yeah, it's a lovely time. It's a couples episode, guys. I'm telling you guys, this is like the double date. It's like the digital double date. Yeah. Sorry, say it one more time, Jay.
I say, yeah, we just need Claudia to come and join the conversation.
We do need Claudia to join in, but she's too shy for the camera. She doesn't like being on camera. She said after, not live. Okay, well, I guess that's for the.
Okay.
I can't blame her. Being on camera is like, once you're on camera, like it's for life. Like someone will always find the video. You never, how it's come back to R. Kelly, right? So it's like it's that same situation. Like it's gonna come back, you gonna see it.
What happens on camera stays on camera. Yeah, pretty much. That's burned into. Dude, I remember. You know what's funny? And this is maybe a weird topic, but did you watch the original R. Kelly video from like 10 years ago?
Yeah. Yeah.
You mean what do you mean?
With him pissing on the girl?
Oh yes, I was so disgusted.
He's got the shirt. God. He's got the shirt tucked behind his neck, looking like a fucking, looking like a Dragon Ball Z character. Looking like
he's a stripper in a fucking strip club. That's what strippers in the strip club do.
Yeah. My dog tucked the shirt behind the neck. Got the neck grease all up on the fucking bottom of the shirt. It was amazing. It was amazing.
Oh Lord.
It was amazing. It was amazing. Yeah, I remember that video, and I just remember the worst part was like, yes, he is peeing on her, and yes, unfortunately, that does look like R. Kelly.
Unfortunately.
Like this is not right, no matter who this is. Like that This should be like a hidden camera thing, and this should be happening in a bathroom. It was weird.
It should be no camera thing. Like there should have been no one would even know any of this happened. But he's such a dumbass. I can't even be.
He said that he couldn't stop recording himself
Because he's such a fucking perv.
He's like, I couldn't stop recording. I was too busy.
The same thing for 15 years.
He was too busy paying. Too busy. He's like, then I would have gotten the pee on the camera stop button, and it would have been gross. That would have been gross. Bacteria. What if I rubbed my eye afterwards? That could have been an infection. I'm sure he had all these reasons in court, guys. Anyway, guys, what we've learned today, don't be like R. Kelly. What happens on camera stays on camera. Be smart about your camera investments. Anyway, guys, you know what's cool? The camera that you guys are using, we all helped get together because, I was like, you know what? You guys need to be on camera, man. I was like, I cash out them some money. But yes, I was like, you know what? That day I was feeling exceptionally inspirational. And you know what's funny? I'm actually going to throw my girlfriend under the bus a little bit. She helped me be this way. She actually helped me be like that, which is really funny because normally, it's not like I'm not helpful to my friends, but this one day particularly, I was talking to you guys. I was like, I love your podcast. I would love for you guys to do like some video show. You're like, yeah, we're going to work on it soon. We just got to get a camera. And I was like, I know they're based out of Sacramento. I was like, let me type in Sacramento and offer up and see what I could come across. And then I came across the same camera I'm using right now. It's the same exact camera. And and I noticed it was a pretty decent deal, and then I worked that little situation out with you guys, and we all helped get it together. So I'm very, like I said, I support your show directly. I think that you guys are doing something really, really cool.
I appreciate it.
Well, I appreciate you guys being honest, man. What I like about your show is the fact that you guys put your honesty. That is the lovely Claudia's thumb up right there. What I love about your show is that you guys put your honesty on display. Like your honesty is you put it on a flag and you wave it and you tell people nobody's taking this shit down. And that's a beautiful and that's a beautiful thing because in the podcast game and especially in the human real life game, it's hard to find people that are that honest, and it's hard to find people that are that honest with themselves. You guys are honest about yourselves, and I like that a lot about you guys. And I love seeing your show grow every week, every episode. I literally listen to it as soon as it comes up. So if you guys are ever out there for some odd reason thinking nobody's listening, which you guys know people are, but yeah, if you guys ever think that, obviously I'm here to prove you guys wrong. Yes, that's just motivational talk.
You made me cry.
Oh, it's motivational talk coming from me to you guys, because I know I'm on the other side of the country, but I believe in it, guys. It's cool. It's cool, and I love it. So cheers to you guys, and continue to be great.
Oh, thank you so much. We really do appreciate all the support, and especially from you. It's just like it's nice. Thank you so much.
Yes.
It's fun, man. I love to see you guys having fun, and that's what I'm trying to do here too. So it's like, why not have? Well, if you see two people having fun in separate places, let's try to have it at the same time. Why not, guys? Yes. Podcasting, we're in a cool place, guys. Podcasting is a fun place to be because you, through Skype, through stuff like what we're doing right now. I know I'm in Miami, but you could be talking to somebody in Saudi Arabia, Japan, China, whatever. Doesn't matter where, Russia, Africa, whatever. You can talk to anybody anywhere because we have this awesome technology and it's been given to us. So we are on the other side. There's listeners and there's creators. We're on the beautiful side. There's two sides of every window. Either you're inside, looking at the beauty outside and enjoying it and wishing you were a part of it, or you're a part of the beauty. And I think that we are a part of the beauty, guys. And it's a beautiful place to be.
True.
I definitely agree.
Oh, you guys got me talking. Jesus Christ. You guys got me on a rant. Man. You guys got me on a rant. Anyway, guys, I know it's been a pretty up and down episode through all sorts of crazy different topics. I've been enjoying it so far. Have you guys, is this your first time doing a podcast? I know you guys had Rev Leon on your show recently. Is this your first time doing like one of these type of episodes,
Yes, because we did audio with him. We did Skype audio to do that interview. So this is our first time actually doing, I guess, also a live podcast as well.
That's awesome, man. Live is fun. Live is different. In the first 10 or 15 episodes of the show, I used to record. I used to just record it and edit it afterwards and try to make it perfect. But at some point, I realized live audio is really the way to go because it's It's happening right now. Nothing's more exciting than what's happening right now. And
that is so true.
Yeah, and it makes people, and you know what? You can invite your friends and they can watch with you, and it's amazing, dude. Like sometimes people watch, the show like on the way home from traffic, or they watched it in the taking a shit. Even to me, that's a compliment. I'm like, you know what? You could be doing anything you're doing right now. You could be reading whatever, but you're hanging out with us and hanging out from all around the world. So I don't know, guys. I just want to thank you guys so much for being on the show. It's been a really cool episode so far. I love it.
Yes, it's been a lot of fun. And it's cool that you also have studio audience or live audience there with you too.
That's cool.
So you get those actual reactions.
I love it, man. The live audience is what keeps me going, man. It's the most fun part. My goal is to really be able to do this in front of a larger crowd and have a band on the side and do the whole dealie. You know what I mean? I think that would be the coolest thing on the planet.
Yeah. That would be awesome.
And before we get out of here, what are your plans for the rest of the show? What are your plans for the future of the Life and Marriage podcast?
Well, for us here, I just want to keep it as honest as I possibly can. I want to be more candid with our lives, showcasing, just kind of who we are more. Also, just hopefully reaching out, connecting with more younger couples, and also people that can relate to us. Met a few people, which has been awesome, and we've gotten a lot of support and feedback from the podcast. But we just continue we hope we grow. That's pretty much the next step from here.
Yeah.
You will, guys. And on the path that you're going, there's no way but up. So definitely, if you keep on doing what you're doing, I think you guys are on the right track. So I love it, man. Well, guys, everybody at home, be on the lookout for the Life and Marriage podcast. Where can they go ahead and follow you guys at if they would like to follow you guys? Plug all your social medias.
Okay, well, if you guys want to follow me, my Instagram is j.hellanice. And then if you want to follow our podcast on Instagram, it's Life and Marriage Podcast, at Life and Marriage Podcast.
Yes.
And then you.
And my Instagram would just be k.hellanice. Pretty simple.
Yes. K.hellanice, J.hellanice, Life and Marriage Podcast. You guys got that, right?
Yes.
Yes. I love it, guys. If you guys want to follow me, it's at Alizar Chen. If you guys want to follow the show, it's at Shut Up Let's Talk. All over the interweb, the webosphere, the globus what? Thank you, everybody, for hanging out on episode 89 of Shut Up Let's Talk. It's been an awesome episode hanging out with you guys. Thank you, everybody in the studio audience, for hanging out tonight. You guys are the boiling to my blood. I love it. You guys keep me alive. And thank you, everybody in the chat, for hanging out tonight. If you guys want to catch them, do that. When do you guys do your show? You guys do it once a week? Once every week and a half?
Every Wednesday.
Every Wednesday. Beautiful.
Yes, on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Anchor, Stitcher, iHeart. You should be able to find us.
Apart from this past hiatus.
Yeah.
Hey, breaks are okay, man. Breaks are okay. I've taken many breaks over the last 4 years. I've been doing the podcast for 4 years, dudes. And over I'm trying, dude. It's like I said, it changes every week, but it's just up. It's the only way to think about it. And to me, it's like, in the beginning, I used to take a lot of breaks. I took a 4-month break at one point. 4 months. I took a long break. I lost somebody really close to me, and it hit me really, really hard. So it's like I didn't know how to bounce back from that. So I needed time to clear my mind, and so that's completely natural. And the most beautiful thing is that transparency. If you tell your people, guys, give me some time, even if it's even if people understand, and people love it. So anyway, folks, love, peace, chicken grease. Look both ways before you cross the street. We will catch you guys on the flip side. And episode 89. Bye-bye.